OBS has just finished this update, which is cool. Welcome back, hot dogs. It's your boy Spider Pig, aka TWP, aka Team DWC. Shouts out to your boy. You know, we actually got that LLC. Y'all might not know, but we do. You dig? Anyways, let's see. Y'all already know we got some Super Saturday videos to review. Put that down there. Hit the start record button and hope it works, right? If it don't work, Rumble just don't get a video. Shouts out to Rumble not getting a video, because if they don't get a video, yeah, well, then they'll start giving me more engagement and commenting and saying, hey, what happened to you this week? We missed you, bud. Hey, if nobody misses me, then I don't know that they like the content. You dig? They got to tell me they miss me. It's about time for a haircut, too. It is getting warm outside. Shout out to that winter season, growing out that fro again. We ain't doing that. Nah. I had to fire my hair braider, so, shout out to keeping track of your employees. All right. We in the chat now. Let's see what we got going on. Now let's start the videos. Boy Vegeta says, y'all fucking with who? Not me. No, not me.
Alright, the main character's on his way to beat me, but that's okay, because I'm about to show him why I'm the main villain. All I gotta do is say something not cringe when he shows up and murder him. Should be simple.
You have breathed your last breath. Who the f*** are you? The DNA results show you are not the main character. I don't know who you are, but you are not a threat. I'm the one that's gonna kill you. Alright, you're the comedian of the group. Okay, I see you. You're the gag character, clearly. Just say you're gonna beat me? That's just not even possible from a writing standpoint. You know that, right? You won't be laughing for long. I'll show you how strong I become. Wait, let me guess. You had a little training arc and you think you can catch up to the main that is cute. Oh, yeah. Okay, come on. Let's do it. This tickle. You should start a massage. This is like when your mom whoops you instead of your dad.
Now that's hilarious. For those who don't know, this video is called When a Side Character Tries to Fight the Main Villain. Shouts out to my homies, because they did this one. I don't really know them, but I call them the homies. Good morning to Izzy. Good to see you. How you doing? Hopefully you're doing good, smoking good. If not, drop a coffee. Yeah, we dropped the Bobby and coffees anyway. Well, let's get back to it. This guy's having a hilarious run so far. Damn. That's damn near the Yamcha.
What did we learn? Just gotta stay in your place, you know? That place is not beating someone of my caliber, I'll tell you that, buddy. You took one hit, look at you bleeding on the ground. I was simply was assisting your strength. I thought, there's no way. What are you blabbering about? There's no way. You could be this weak. I guess it's time to reveal my secret technique. Wait, what? You're bluffing. It's like a side character would do. Bluff. That's all you got. At the snap of my fingers, my technique, delayed gratification, will activate, and you will suffer all the damage that's been accumulated during our fight. What?
Lightsaber man, what's cracking?
That was a lot easier than I thought it'd be. You ain't nothing but a side character. How could you do this to me? How is this possible? Wait a second. Why are you acting as though it's impossible for a side character to beat a side villain like you? Oh. Whoa. Wait. I'm at. Wait, you mean to tell me this whole time you thought you were the main? You thought you were the main? Wait. Why do you think I'm here? I just completed my training arc. That means you were my second. Wait, let me ask you. When's the last time you blew up a planet?
So the last time you blew up a planet, damn.
Wait. You thought you were the main villain, but you don't even know we're the main character? Alright, tell me, where's the main character right now? You have no idea, do you? Because you're not him.
He says you're not him. You're not even the guy who's supposed to be the guy. As they say, I wish this green light wasn't on at the moment and my tent light was on. I don't know what time it's gonna come on though, but we had to get us a new torch. Shouts out to the new torch accessory though, cause you dig, cause we going back to dabbing later on. But that's later on. You dig? We got us a new nectar collector, new torch. Same old wax though. You know how we do. Anyways. Fire in the hole, as they say. Shout out to my dude cooking with love and more. I appreciate him. He might stop through. He might be live. We don't know because we didn't check.
You're not the main villain. You're fighting on a whole entire different arc right now. You're just filler. You're just filler. You got me, but that's not unfair. Oh my God, I can't take this seriously. Oh my God. Oh, wow. You really thought you were him? You're garbage. You're trash. You're not that guy. You're not him. You're not. There's no way you can be that guy. You are not even a part of the main cast.
Said you ain't even main cast. I see why guy got some more content. Y'all better go check him out. Let's see what they producing over there. Shouts out to him.
Input from the World Tournament. After that, we were introduced to some Fist of the North Star bandits. They got lost and found their way to Dragon Ball. Now, this one introduces something interesting. If you know anything about Sun Wukong, the character Goku is based on, you know he has 3 iconic tools. Goku has 2 of the 3 tools. but Toriyama never introduced the third, that tool being the sealing gourd. Here, it has the power to seal someone if they don't answer when their name is called. After being sealed, they're turned into a liquid that if someone drinks, they can steal the sealed person's power. Kinda OP, huh? Luckily, Goku is able to avoid being converted with the power pole, and turns the gourd on its owners. Goku lets the villagers keep the gourd. Shame he couldn't keep it, as this is filler. But it's not really his style to use something like that anyway. The bandits are no match for Goku, but assuming they've been using the gourd for a while, they're probably pretty strong. So, let's give them 67 and 73. Now...
Is Vegeta the best husband in Dragon Ball? Vegeta found himself a rival upon entering the Demon Realm. Hype showed his interest in Bulma, and Vegeta's sensors as her husband quickly started working. From that point onwards, Vegeta has always had an eye on Bulma.
Vegeta said,
In
"You ain't
episode
finna
14
start
of the
taking all
anime,
women."
right when the party was about to enter the Demon Realm, they found out that the ship was not going to endure this final leg of the journey, so all of them would have to fly. However, Bulma is the only one of them all to not have the ability to fly, and even though Hybe kinda stepped in, Vegeta quickly took care of it. Without a single doubt, Vegeta just got Bulma to wrap her arms around him, and then the two of them abandoned the ship. This is just another instance of Vegeta looking after Bulma, obviously the most memorable one being his fit of rage after Beerus slapped her. And this begs the question, after all he's been through...
Is Vegeta the greatest husband? Of course. Hell,
This
Goku don't
is
even
Captain
kiss
Ginyu
Chi-Chi.
of the Ginyu Force with a special message. You shine, subscribe to Geek 101.
Now, for those who don't know, last week's video was about what? Who the fuck is Toritaro? So here's some more Toritaro information for y'all. Shouts out to y'all, because, you know, I ain't seen this yet. Monkey Man in the building. Y'all know to go check out the homeboy. He's a big Dragon Ball fanatic like me. So, you know, appreciate him showing up, because he's ready to see what we got for the demos today. He done missed like first 5 minutes, but, you know, he gonna hit the replay anyways. Let me get some clips in here too, because, you know, no, we're not doing any filters. What are you doing? I'll hit the clip button. But anyways, that's another story. Back to him.
So we've got a very, very interesting new interview with Dragon Ball Daima Chief Supervisor Katsuyoshi Nakatsuru, the same guy who created Super Saiyan 4, worked on OG Dragon Ball Z, GT, the dude's been around forever, and they go into like his past working on Dragon Ball, but we've got some interesting new reveals from Nakatsuru that confirm a lot of suspicions about Super Saiyan 4 in Daima and Toriyama's place as far as designing the characters go when it comes to what he did versus what Nakatsuru did. You know, Toriyama and Nakatsuru working together to create Daima. So we're going to go ahead and get to some of the Dragon Ball Daima stuff. Some of the interview, it's a good interview. I'll leave a link down below for you to check out the entire thing. It was done by AE Times, which is a French outlet, because Nakatsuru and Kubota, who is the supervisor and director of Superhero, were both at a convention in France recently. I wish they would come here. And they signed a bunch of stuff and did custom art, and I'm sure it was a pleasure for fans to meet these two Dragon Ball legends. But I want to get to the Dragon Ball Daima story and his involvement in it. So first and foremost, right here. So again, I want to thank Vanixis for putting this translation out. They asked him, what are the new character designs you created for Daima, and will we ever get to see them? He's talking about the stuff that he created, not just the stuff Toriyama made. And he says, indeed, well, this time quite a few main characters have been turned back into children, and for them I created many drafts for their rejuvenated appearances. They appear in the anime almost as they were in the drafts without too many changes. So the original drafts of the kid versions of Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, etc., Nakatsuru did them, and I guess Toriyama approved them, and he says not without many changes. So I guess it's basically the fact that Toriyama didn't just draw them from scratch. He just checked off on Nakatsuru's work. This is one of the few times, well, not one of the few times, one of the few times in decades that Nakatsuru's gotten to work with Toriyama on a project, he was gone for a while, Nakatsuru that is, and they worked together a lot on some stuff way back in the day, but now, there's a mutual respect there. And because of that, it looks like Toriyama checked off on a lot of his work. Now, Super Saiyan 4. People have been asking about this. He's asked, did you also design the Super Saiyan 4 for Dragon Ball Daima? Right? This is the reveal here. No, this time in Daima, it was Toriyama Sensei who also designed Super Saiyan 4. He drew it in a way that made it the Super Saiyan 4 of Daima. So that, I think a lot of folks were a bit confused. Nakatsuru designed the original Super Saiyan 4, the one from GT. This one, Toriyama went in and just sort of did his version, changing the hair color, changing where the fur goes. It doesn't go all the way up to the wrist. And he also presumably designed the kid version and the adult version and chose to go with the red hair, the magenta hair, to make it different. Now, I have been saying for quite some time now, because I saw internal Toei documents going back to last summer where Super Saiyan 4 was called Super Saiyan 4. And there's people who were, no, it's not called that. It's Super Saiyan 4. And here it's confirmed it's the Super Saiyan 4 of Daima. So in the future, when the video games have Super Saiyan 4, both GT and Daima versions, it'll say Super Saiyan 4 in parentheses GT and then Super Saiyan 4 in parentheses Daima. I thought they should have called it something like Super Saiyan Primal, but they wanted it to be consistent, so that's fine. Moving on to the next question. The difference between Dragon Ball Z, GT, and Daima. He says, I've been involved in the franchise since my youth. During DBZ, I was really young. During GT, I was still quite young. And then for Daima, well, I have passed 60 years old now. It's crazy because he was literally in his 20s working on the old shows. So I'm still involved at this age, but despite that, Daima's probably the project where I had to draw the most in the end. And that's interesting because I thought it was GT. He was the lead designer for GT's characters, but I guess it's Daima, and that says something. I feel like people need to maybe understand that Daima was a collaboration between Toriyama, Nakatsuru, and the rest of the writers at Toei, but it feels more, reading this interview, that Nakatsuru did a lot more work than I think people thought. So moving on to the next question, characters that are difficult to draw. Are there any characters you don't like drawing? He says, characters I don't like drawing? Well, back in the day, I would have said Bulma. That's interesting. But this time in Daima, there's a character called Arinsu, an antagonist. Well, quote, antagonist. So there's this female character that appears. Female characters then, that one was rather difficult for me to draw. So I wonder if it's just the thing where Nakatsuru doesn't feel comfortable drawing female anatomy. Toriyama certainly does. He's been doing that.
That makes sense because, he's like, hell, I don't want to be sitting there focused on drawing some boobs all damn day because then I'll just keep redrawing them. What happened, man? I had missed my deadline because, I was over here debating on what to make the jiggle look like. You dig?
Going back to, God, when he was a youth. But I didn't know that. I would have never expected of all the characters that would be the difficult one. So this is the last question here, which is, let me get it back here. Hold on. So people have been asking for a remake to the original Dragon Ball. Like, we're talking about remaking Dragon Ball and Z, the original manga, starting from scratch. It's been talked about since that first episode of Daima, even before then, but the idea of them, taking and redoing it from scratch with, Kubota and modern animators involved. And it says here, if there was a Dragon Ball remake, would you like to participate? He says, if I could contribute something and be useful in some way, I would love to. But if we were to start again from the Dragon Ball manga, perhaps younger people would want to completely readapt it. See, that's interesting. He's kind of passing the baton there. This would probably offer new possibilities. Perhaps younger people would want to completely readapt it. This would probably... Oh, wait. He said this, they wrote the same thing twice. I don't know why. In any case, the original work exists, and from there are multiple ways to create a new series. Since I think it will happen one day, also I think that whether I participated or not, it's not that important. Perhaps what matters most is that everyone can enjoy the franchise for as long as possible, and maybe in a way some will be inspired by Toriyama Sensei's work, and we could even see a creation that goes beyond even Toriyama Sensei's imagination and still perhaps enjoy it. Now, I want to highlight where he says there were multiple ways to create a new series. I think, look, I'm not sure if he's talking about a new Dragon Ball anime like Daima and Super were new, or if he means a remake like what the question was. But I think based on the question and the fact that he answered it within the body of that question, I think he's talking about a new Dragon Ball readaptation, starting from scratch again, taking the filler out and making it more true to the manga. Not like Kai. I mean, like, actually doing it from scratch, not just recutting it. I think a lot of folks want that. I think someday we will see it. However, I'm not sure if we're going to see it anytime soon. Possibly, maybe after the passing of Nozawa, they could create a new series with all new voice actors to play the Goku and everybody else. I do think we're going to get it someday. Maybe not for 30 more years, maybe not for 10 more years. I don't know. I can't predict the future. But one thing I will say is, if there's new Dragon Ball, meaning a new story, whether it be like a super movie or whatever comes next, I do hope that this man is involved, because he's been with us since the original series. He's a tremendously talented artist and animator, and he's somebody who was missing for a lot of Dragon Ball Super. He didn't do a lot of Super, but he's center stage here in charge of Daima with Toriyama, and I think art-wise, that's the one thing you can hang your hat on, is that Daima was a success when it comes to the art. So, great interview. I look forward to getting more information. Hopefully, we will get more, but man, the French are lucky. That's all I have for you today. I hope you have a great one, y'all. Take care of yourselves and each other. See you soon.
Can Vegeta become a destroyer? A user of this state gains the power of destruction. Ultra Ego is the strongest form Vegeta has appeared in. Ultra Ego changes its user's ki to become the same as that of a god of destruction, and its user's power grows without limit through instinct as their fighting spirit increases. Vegeta can become god of destruction because he is very cruel. He shows no mercy to his enemies. He kills his enemies without hesitation. Anyway, god of destruction is like that. Who does not show mercy? Because the work of god of destruction is to destroy living planets. Vegeta is the next god of destruction, capable of doing god of destruction tasks. We can guess that maybe the next god of destruction of Universe 7 is Vegeta.
So during the false copyright strike attack on my channel, a lot of you guys were asking how you can help and assist, support the channel in some way. And after everything was said and done, we decided to go ahead and start our very own Patreon. Now, this Patreon is going to have exclusive goodies for those of you guys who would like to join and support the channel in this way. You guys can gain access.
For those who know, I mean, we do have a Patreon, but Patreon's for people who like to pre-record and edit their videos. Good morning, DJ Tiny. Oh, snaps. Good morning, DJ Tanya Renee. Good to see you. How you doing? Hopefully you smoking good. You see how I am. But anyways, you dig, like I was saying, Patreon's for those who pre-record their videos and do all their editing shit. So then you post it on Patreon before you ever post something to YouTube. That's how you use Patreon, because most people don't even know how to use it. You get over there, then you wonder why you ain't making no money. Well, your monetization coach just told you why. You dig? Because it's for those that have their work done ahead of time, not you last minute, I'm going to just go live, and hopefully it goes well, people. You know, like me also. I do both. I do videos and I go live. I go live, so I do less videos. Hell, but I'll sit there and do a video if I need to. Oh, we already know. Hell, it only take you 0.5 seconds probably to get to work. Hell, that's why you got that Mustang. You said it's supposed to be a long drive, but not when you do it 90. Yeah, sliding. Anyways, back to the videos. Hell, you know, we got these Super Saturdays rolling. Then when it's time to get back to work, she can replay her video, listen to some music. Then when she go on break, she can come back and watch some more of the live. You dig?
To my Discord. I have exclusive videos coming to you guys on the Patreon every single month, and there are tiers for Dragon Ball Rose for those of you guys who want to know her a little bit better and maybe see some pictures, see some of her content. We have consultation for your YouTube channel and of course channel shout outs. So if you join our Patreon, the one thing that you will 100% get, despite whichever tier you decide to join, is our gratitude, and you are definitely a part of the squad if you join it. Thank you guys so much.
Prepare yourself, dancing.
So I want to give a huge shout out to Vincent Perez on Twitter, because this is where I saw this extremely rare and sort of weird, I guess, professional Dragon Ball fan artist debate, because I had no idea that Young Gigi and Toyotaro actually talked, that they had a relationship together, which they do. And Toyotaro, you guys already know, he is the creator, the writer, the drawer, the artist of the new Dragon Ball Super manga. And he was chosen specifically by Toriyama because his style and his history with Dragon Ball AF made him a suitable candidate to continue with the work of Toriyama in Dragon Ball Super. It almost seems like Young Gigi is the runner-up to that contest, like a contest between Toyotaro and Young Gigi. Like Toriyama was like, you guys need to draw me one Goku each, I'll choose which one's better. And Toyotaro ended up winning. Now, no such contest happened that I know of, but it sounds like something that would happen, like having a draw-off, because that seems to be the case of what's going on here. So, Young Gigi has created a lot of different works in the Dragon Ball fan manga community, but the one thing he is mainly known for is continuing Toyotaro's Dragon Ball AF. And Toyotaro actually went out of his way to thank him. He thanked him for continuing this story. So here is where the criticism lies, and that is that Young Gigi took it upon himself to redraw certain panels from Toyotaro's manga in his own style. And a lot of people on both aisles are saying two completely different things. So some people think it's good for there to be this healthy competition, that Young Gigi is just showing Toyotaro his take on his art style. And then there's other people on the other side of the aisle that are saying that this is a slap in the face to Toyotaro, because Toyotaro said thank you to Young Gigi. He gave him some shine for finishing Dragon Ball AF, and then Young Gigi turns around and redraws his panels in a better style, some people might say. And that's just a total slap in the face and completely uncalled for, and something that Young Gigi should have never done against Toyotaro. So this is almost like a versus battle, and I don't know if Toyotaro and Young Gigi are seeing it this way, but
Yeah, he already said he don't see Young Gigi as a problem. He said, I'm glad you're doing some work. You did, because anybody that's out here putting in work appreciates other people putting in work. Hell, you can take my idea and run with it. That's why I put it out there. Yeah, what happened with Dragon Ball? It was put out there, and that's how Toyotaro got put in the position he in now. You dig? That, man, shouts out to Dragon Ball creators, because hell, everybody who's a fan, you see what I'm saying? But there's fans who put in work and fans who don't. I mean, you got fans who just watch the show, and you got fans who take it and run with it. You dig? It's like what they say on that movie. What happens when something unexpected comes to you? You gotta pick it up and run with it. Hell, you was sitting here watching the movie, now you sitting here, you know, getting some bread from putting in some work from some shit that you was interested in. Shout out to your monetization coach, because that's what we tell you to do in the coaching program. You dig? That's available in level 2 Buy Me a Coffee memberships over on TWP. But hell, we talking about Spider Pig today. This is my other channel, so you know we doing some entertainment. But hell, it's entertaining seeing that they try to promote the beef. Are they beefing? Nah, they ain't beefing. Toritaro already said, hell, I'm the next guy writing the story. Hell, the guy picked me before he died because he was already ready to quit. Kira Toriyama said, I'm finna get up out of here. I'm gonna stop doing Dragon Ball. I picked Toritaro. You see what I'm saying? Now, young Gigi out here doing the exact same thing they got Toritaro a job. You dig? Shout out to putting people on, because hell, you gotta inspire them. He done got this man inspired to get out there and work. Well, the different styles is different, so therefore it's the same panel, but in the guy who prefers to do the panel style, that's Toritaro style, which is actually more guided by how Akira Toriyama would have did it, and then you got how other people would do it. So shout out to other people, others, and you know we throwing some commentary in there today. Shout out to the commentary, because you know could watch these videos wherever I found them. Shout out to YouTube algorithm. It's my algorithm.
Damn well sure that the fandom, the Dragon Ball fan manga community, is seeing it this way. They're seeing which artist takes the cake. So let me address my feelings on this situation. I think that it is well under young Gigi's scope of influence if he wants to go ahead and redraw some of the panels from Toyotaro's work. As a lot of people have stated and shown, Toyotaro's panels aren't always pristine, while, in my opinion, young Gigi's all the time are, from what we've seen. Toyotaro seems to have rushed a lot of things, while young Gigi does not. Now, there are different things that go into this. Now, Toyotaro is working on deadlines, basically, and young Gigi, from what I can tell, either is not or is working on less restrictive deadlines. So quality is always going to be in the time that is put to the artwork itself. But I do think that young Gigi has a right to draw whatever the hell he wants to, but there are going to be repercussions, like a lot of the community saying that young Gigi is sort of a jerk for doing this to Toyotaro after Toyotaro gave him some shine. On the other side, though, I think that young Gigi, in my opinion, is a better artist than Toyotaro. I think that looking at these two panels, young Gigi's art flows a little bit more fluidly, and even throughout the fan mangas, it just seems to have more of an impact. Like the panels kind of just jump right out at you, while the Toyotaro panels seem to be very cookie cutter and stiff. Like they're following a pre-designed program, while seems like young Gigi is just going off the cuff. Either way, this is probably one of the only times you're going to see this sort of battle between Dragon Ball fan manga artists. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Do you think that young Gigi had a right to redraw these panels from Toyotaro's manga? Or do you think this is an extremely huge slap in the face to Toyotaro and young Gigi should have never done it at all? And, you know, if you want to throw it in there, which artist do you think is better? This is going to be Blackscape signing off. Take care, guys.
Now, what's funny about Blackscape starting his Patreon, he also got demonetized for that copyright strike in that video the other day. That's why he was like, so if anybody does want to move over to Patreon, go ahead and move over. But, you know, that's why we also have people move over to Rumble, because, you know, one day YouTube might just boot your ass. Hell, you ain't even got to be a problem, they can boot you. It's like, well, y'all finna lose y'all percentage, you see what I'm saying, that y'all are taking out of my money, which y'all don't care about, because you guys are already getting paid for the advertising companies for running the ads on my video regardless. Because, you know, anybody that don't got premium, every time you see an ad that YouTube just throws on there, because YouTube throws ads on there, shout out to them throwing ads. They're their own company. They said, hey, y'all signed up to work for us. You dig? You want your video over here or not? You dig? Because we're going to put ads on it, and then we'll tell you when we want to start paying you for that. Then we'll just cancel you, because because now you done got big. Your peoples is regulars, and we just track those numbers and keep them going. So you'll either keep making content or die. Because if you ain't got multiple streams of income, you're damn near done. The fuck off the phone, Elmer.
Okay, hold.
You're making a big mistake. Where do you think you're going? Pity, what a waste of talent. Not today. Back off. Have it your way. A tough guy like you should be able to face the truth.
Are you okay?
Prepare yourself, dead Saiyan.
So first of all, this video would not be possible without my friend Malik, who actually suggested the video and gave me a link to where I can find this information. So I want to go ahead and give you a credit. Malik, make sure you follow him on Twitter. The link is in the description below. But this literally blew my mind because for many years, I would say even decades at this point, I thought that this picture right here, I thought that was Super Saiyan 5 Goku. And it's weird that I'm finding out so late that probably a lot of people already knew this, but this is not Super Saiyan 5 Goku. This is a fan art for a magazine that was back in the 90s. And when I was younger, this was the default Goku Super Saiyan 5 version. Everybody always used to call it that. Me and my friends used to call it Super Saiyan 5 Goku. We weren't exactly sure where it was from. We just knew that the picture was online. It was either fan art or from a video game. That's what we thought of back in the day, back in Budokai Tenkaichi days. But it's so refreshing to get all the information here and have a full interview on this website. This is a website that I've showcased before, the Tao of DragonBall.com. They did an interview with the creator of Dragon Ball AF. That's right, the creator of Dragon Ball AF. This guy's name is David Montiel, and he submitted this into a magazine, this picture with the moniker Dragon Ball AF. Now, I'm going to jump right into the interview with my most favorite part, and that is, what the fuck does AF stand for? Let's go ahead and jump right in. HC, which is the guy that's interviewing him, asks, as the creator of the AF brand, what better question than to ask you about the meaning of these acronyms? Does AF mean after future or something else? What's more, did your illustration represent a supposed Super Saiyan 5, or does it go further beyond? And the creator responds, the acronym AF means alternate future. The story unfolds in the alternate future of Trunks, where Goku dies from a heart virus and the rest of the protagonists are annihilated by artificial humans 17 and 18. Regarding the second question, no matter how hard it is for the fans to believe, still to this day, the character in my illustration is neither Goku nor the supposed Super Saiyan 5 transformation. He is Tablos, a Saiyan who has a close relationship with Goku. His transformation is called Spirit Killer, and you'll see it in action in the next few issues of the manga I'm working on. Now, this is actually something that exists, this manga. I've actually covered it on the channel, although this particular transformation I did not see in the manga or the chapter that I covered, but yeah, this is a manga that's ongoing, and as you guys can see it yourselves here, he says that this does not mean Super Saiyan 5. It's actually a brand new transformation that he created back in the day called Spirit Killer. So this transformation has nothing to do with Super Saiyan 5, but this begs the question a lot of us are asking ourselves, didn't Toyotaro create Dragon Ball AF? That's what I thought for many, many years, but it seems that Toyotaro was inspired by this art, which probably a lot of us were back in the day, and so Toyotaro created his own Dragon Ball AF manga because this guy, David, he did not create a manga at that time. So the HC actually asked him that question. How does it make you feel when you see Toyotaro draw the official Dragon Ball Super manga, considering that he rose to fame for a fan manga inspired by your creation? David, in a few words, it's something you have to live in Japan to do. Toyotaro took advantage of the opportunity, the circumstances, and so on. The Dragon Ball Super manga he is making is very well drawn, however, I think the story is uninteresting, and the personality and charisma of the characters is a far cry from what we had during the Dragon Ball Z arcs. Okay, I'm just gonna throw it out there, because I'm a realist. David is throwing mad shade on Toyotaro. It is what it is. I mean, yeah, he probably is a little bit salty that because Toyotaro's in Japan, he saw the picture and decided to make his own manga creating Super Saiyan 5. Creating Super Saiyan 5 from that artwork. So as you guys can see, everything is inspired by something, and it looks like Toyotaro was inspired by David, which is really, really surreal, honestly. But I'm not going to throw too much shit on Toyotaro. I don't mind the Dragon Ball Super manga. I think it's getting interesting, the brand new part that we're on. And the Dragon Ball AF manga has a lot of brand new transformations and characters that are really, really interesting and a lot of fun to watch and read. So I can't just be like, yeah, Toyotaro's in the wrong here and he didn't really add anything to the Dragon Ball fan manga community. No, that's not the case at all. I think that he was inspired by David's work, but David is not in Japan. He's not Japanese, so I'm assuming that may prohibit him from, at some level, entering into making the Dragon Ball Super manga, I guess. So yeah, he's a little salty on that one. And here we continue with a little bit more of the shade. Would you like these now famous comic book authors like Toyotaro and Young Gigi, who have used your Dragon Ball AF idea, to recognize you at some point? Do you think they owe you? David responds, yes, of course. As the creator of the original design and concept of AF, these artists should mention me in the credits of their related works at least. And I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're just going to take the credit from it. I highly doubt anybody really knows David really exists besides those who read his fan manga, who has basically just started its run. So I don't think that it's something that's going to happen, but I do think that Toyotaro and Young Gigi should at least credit him somewhat for the Dragon Ball AF idea, but I don't think they're going to. So here we go into an in-depth look of what David thinks of Toyotaro's Dragon Ball Super manga. As I said before, the new Dragon Ball Super manga from Toyotaro has high quality drawings without doubt, but regarding the anime, for me, the first 35 episodes would have been removed entirely, or could have been removed entirely, since they didn't improve anything and lacked new content. The Goku Black arc was an attempt to straighten the series out, but many things still failed, which, by the way, reminds me too much of the AF manga by Toyotaro. Finally, the Tournament of Power arc improves on a lot, but it doesn't unfold as if we were playing the Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi or Xenoverse video games. Is a decent story and hook too much to ask for from these Dragon Ball Super scriptwriters? So regarding David's very candid reply, I gotta say, the first 35 episodes or so of Dragon Ball Super, I could not stand. I actually stopped watching after episode 5 and didn't resume watching until the Universe 6 tournament started. I thought that this was all just rehashed material. That's how I ended up not watching the Copy Vegeta episodes, because of the fact that those were in that block. Again, I only started watching the Universe 6 tournament, and even the Universe 6 tournament has its faults, and it really doesn't have anything that changes at the end of it. Very similar to a Tournament of Power. And I loved the Goku Black arc. I felt like that was the first time that I felt Dragon Ball Super was like Dragon Ball Z. The perfect combination of mystery and different characters, recurring characters, and nostalgia, all wrapped into one, although I felt like the very ending was completely and unnecessarily messy. And as the Tournament of Power goes, a lot of it was fun, a lot of it was amazing. The high moment of Super was when Goku turned Ultra Instinct Omen for the first time for me. But the problem with the Tournament of Power is that nothing changes at the end. Nothing. There is no consequences to anyone's actions at all at the very end. Everything goes back to normal. That was the biggest issue I had with Dragon Ball Super. That literally killed it for me at the end of this Tournament of Power. That killed it when Super finally ended, because I wasn't excited to even talk about Super anymore. I wasn't excited to talk about Super. I was looking at Dragon Ball Heroes, and that's kind of how I fell into Dragon Ball fan mangas, which in my opinion do a lot better job than Dragon Ball Super did. Dragon Ball Multiverse does a better job at telling a tournament story than Super did. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. He says, in my modest opinion, I would have taken the series out of a vicious circle of greater and greater power levels, growing larger each time. I would have created new characters that have credible evolution, adding a touch of adventure, a consistent plot with more mystery and villains that would really scare people. I say this with all due respect to the fans of Xeno, but it seems as if his design was taken from Pokemon and he isn't imposing at all. I fucking hate Xeno. I've hated him since I first saw him. I hate him to this day. I do not like that character. I think having a character that controls everything, that is the tether of everything, and he's a child, and he doesn't do anything else besides be a child, and that's it. I don't find him scary at all. I don't find him imposing. I don't like Xeno. Now, I want to close this out with some words of encouragement.
Man, you got the
David.
one that actually
I've
put
been
Xeno in
creator
charge,
of Hobby
Remus.
Gonzalez since issue 1 in 1991, and a big fan of Dragon Ball since 1990. I know the virtues of the series, its shortcomings, and the things the fans want to see, and also the things that they do not want to see even remotely. I mean, Frieza becomes friends with Goku. Please. I simply want to say thanks for the support to all those who trust in this project, and remind you that without you, none of this would be possible. Greetings to all, and thanks again. And of course, he's referring to his project, Dragon Ball. I want to say that this interview was extremely enlightening, and I want to thank David Padula and Malik for having this interview on his website, and Malik for suggesting this, because honestly, this is such an eye-opener for anybody trying to jump into the Dragon Ball fan manga scene. There's a lot of us that are trying to create our own original characters, our own original stories, our own fan mangas, our own fan animations. There's so many of us at this point, so many creators, so many talented people, and I gotta say, if you get an idea from somebody, I would say just credit them. Credit, credit, credit. That is the pinnacle of what it is to be a creator in any fandom, especially the Dragon Ball fandom. And do I condemn Toyotaro and Young Gigi? A little bit, I do, because they should credit this guy. They should credit David and give him some much needed shine, because, I mean, look at them. They're now continuing Dragon Ball AF, making brand new Dragon Ball fan mangas, and doing Dragon Ball Super's manga. And if the cards line up for Toyotaro, he may be actually the one running Dragon Ball Super if anything happens to Akira Toriyama. And I think that they should 100% give David some credit. Besides that, guys, that's all I have for you guys today. You guys can find this interview in the description below. This is going to be Blackscape signing off. Take care, guys.
And of course, this was before he had passed away. That's why he said if anything happened, because something did happen. Shit. 2025. That's a motherfucker.
The best and the worst about Dragon Ball Daima. The best. Dragon Ball Daima has had the best production ever for a Dragon Ball TV series. The show included very detailed and high-quality animation, as well as really cool battle choreographies. Also, from a lore standpoint, Daima has added a lot of knowledge into our books. From the origin of the universes in Dragon Ball to the tale of the Namekians. Let's not forget just how epic the canonization of the Super Saiyan 4 has been. It is definitely an anime worth watching. The worst. Daima had some inconsistency in its narrative flow, especially from the moment it introduced the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta transformation onwards. It did pick up the pace in the last few episodes, but it had a filler sort of content that felt kind of awkward midway. We also cannot forget the fact that there's a major plot hole right now regarding the Super Saiyan 4 form and its connection with Dragon Ball Super, or even the fact that they teased a potential fusion through some bug items that never actually happened. Definitely a disappointing and odd choice.
energy, but has little Dragon Balls on him. Come on, man. They be spicing this shit up. Hey, this dude is tripping.
Christ, really?
I ain't even gonna lie. I already saw the episode, but this is fucking crazy. See, he also does Patreon. So the good thing about me waiting to do Super Saturdays is y'all been had time to see the episode. So for those who this is a spoiler to, it's 2025. Do your own homework, you dig? I'm out here putting in my work because hell, I didn't already watch the video too. You could have been sending it on this Patreon. You ain't got money for Patreon? Hey, holler at your monetization coach. We'll get you more money. We can do it. It's possible.
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city? Yes. Blew up the domino. You blew up the dominoes, and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here? And you will be next.
We don't need closed captioning with the narrator and text on screen.
Turn on notifications right now. Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours? Kakarot! Kakarot!
I had feared that something like this was going to go and turn out for the worst. As with our situation at an all-time critical as time continues to dwindle, I must hurry and make my way back and warn the others before something happens and having it already be too late.
As our story now continues, following the initial interrogation events within the Demon Realm, showcasing both the Supreme Demon God Raijin and the creator of the Super Dragon Ball Zalama, as with Zalama continuing to now refuse and giving up the information of the whereabouts of the configuration cubes to Raijin, as Raijin was then shown standing from his throne, was when Raijin then went on to quickly respond, "I must admit, however, Zalama, that your resistance is admirable, for there is a fire in you that I did not expect from a mere creator, a defiant ember that is so desperately flickering in the face of an unstoppable storm, but let us not go and pretend that this bravery of yours is anything but a wasted effort in your attempts of surviving me, Guardian, which is exactly why you will now go on to have this end the way in which you hope for, since you have already went and sealed your fate by defying my law, Creator. For bravery is but a fine quality in the strong, Raijin continues, but for the weak, for those that are at their most vulnerable, such as you, it is nothing more than a death wish, Zalama, for you are now cornered, outmatched, and overpowered, and yet you still choose to persist, despite in further knowing that you could never beat me, Raijin continues, and how utterly foolish for you to even go as far as to try, and with that fallen angel's power now one with my very own, how could you ever go and hope to rival me when you can barely even go on to catch your breath? Or do you truly believe that by standing firm in your insignificant convictions makes you noble? No, Zalama, it makes you delusional, for it makes you a fool, and because this goes on to make you a fool, does it only mean that you no longer serve a purpose in existing within my utopia? But then, it was only just upon the four Dark Masters having to now reach the God King level and having to further address my chosen to ultimately respond. Venerable Lord Raijin, we hate to go and inform you about this, but the Super Dragon Balls have been stolen from us while we were here alongside with you during the moments of your greats. Enough, Raijin went on to then quickly interrupt, for you are too late, Dark Lords, for I was already able to get down onto the bottom of who it was that had taken them away from you, for it just so happened to have come from none other than its very own creator who suffers behind me in its guardian Zalama. The creator of the Super Dragon Balls, the Dark Master went on to quickly ask, so that was who it was that had been seeking us within the time chamber and taking those orbs away when we were just inside. But how did Lord Raijin go on to know? With Toro responding, well, from what it looks like, Lord Raijin had likely always known of Zalama by name, but with that fallen angel's power intact alongside his own, Lord Raijin was more than likely able to trace the signal of Zalama's
Dab
attempt
30
taking
in
the
the
Dragon
building.
Balls back, which would have likely explained on how he was able to go and target his very location and bring him within the demon realm. As Raijin then went on to then drop Zalama behind him by then responding, your resolve in thinking that you can go and lie to my face amuses me, Guardian, for you hold tight to your secrets as if they will go on to save you. But tell me, what has Defiance ever done for the weak such as yourself, Zalama? For it will not go as far as to shield you, nor would it, as it would only most certainly not go on to spare your life either, for it will only go as far as to prolong your suffering, as within that time you are to go and suffer for your lies and rebellion, as you will hereby happen to suffer here and now. So I hereby implore for you to go and cherish these final moments while you still can, because these will be the last of your moments here before I am to destroy you. Oh, I was a fool to think that deception would go and work against him, Zalama went on to then quickly utter, for he seized on my every word and my every move, so lying to him about the configuration cubes was never going to work, for he knows that I have the knowledge that he seeks and is willing to do whatever it is that must be done if it means pulling that information out of me. But I cannot go and give that monster what he wants, especially not now, because if this beast were to go and gain access to all three of those configuration cubes, Zalama continues, then it'll be the end of everything across every known world and timeline as we know it. And if that ultimately means that I must go and lay my life down in order to make sure that he doesn't go and get what he's looking for, then so be it. For the order of the gods must be kept and protected at all costs, and if that ultimately means that I will need to go and wage a war with you in order to help secure it, Zalama shouts, then that is exactly what it is that I am going to go and do. For an abomination such as yourself is going to be punished for the crimes in which you have committed by any means necessary. To which it was only despite with Zalama being shown having to blast Raijin from behind as the other Dark Masters went on to look on was when Gira then went on to quickly respond, how dare that fool go and try to sneak attack Lord Raijin like that and expect to go and get away with it. So come now, Dark Lords, let us go and tear that Guardian into pieces for daring to go and defy Lord Raijin's command. But then, it was only just upon with Toro having to quickly interrupt by having to stop Gira was when Toro went on to then quickly respond, we will not, Gira, for we will wait here and remain where we are unless Lord Raijin were to go and give us the order to go and step in and take care of that Guardian ourselves upon his very own command, for we are to not go and get in the way of his business unless we are called forward onto doing so, Dark Lords, and so now we will wait. As Raijin then went on to address Zalama by responding, surely you must have known that this wouldn't work here against me, Zalama, or did you truly believe in your heart of hearts that a divine craftsman such as yourself could ever go as far as to harm a supreme demon god of my caliber? Now did you? For you are no warrior creator, and so you may have been able to go and do damage onto others with an attack like that, but you seem to be forgetting one very crucial element here, Fiend, and that is I am not like the others, and so while you may go and attempt to go and try your little stunt of yours once more, heed my warning that there will be no corner of this multiverse that you will be able to go and run off to that I won't be able to go and find you, Zalama. And so now ask yourself if your life is truly as valuable as you believe for it to be, because you are only but a few short moments away from having me take it from you. And so I ask you here again, magic questions, where is the configuration cube and what did you go on to do with it, Zalama? Hand over the relic in which I seek, and I will offer you a quick and painless end as promised, but if you choose to continue to defy me, then I will reveal unto you the true horrors that lie deep within me, Guardian, for you are now here left with no other choice, with Zalama having to then stick both arms up by then responding, no, demon, and that is where you are wrong, because I in fact do have a choice, and that choice will be to go and stand at the forefront of your tyranny, whether I am limited to your realm by using my power, or
are not. For I will never go on to hand over the secrets of the great beyond to the likes of you. And since I choose to stand in opposition here against you, I will hereby fight until my last dying breath if I need to, and especially if it means having to protect the sanctity over all existence as we know it, and having to go as far as to make sure to do everything within my power to make sure that you are never able to have it your way. And while you may indeed be far stronger than I am within the moment, Zalama continues, I know for a that you are without some kind of a weakness, demon. Which only despite with Zalama's best efforts, as Zalama was shown having to blast Raijin several times over, when Raijin then further went on to utter beneath the smoke by then responding, is that so? Very well then, Guardian, sue yourself. As the Dark Master Gira then went on to quickly respond, no, this is just absurd, for we shouldn't just stand around here and watch him go and do this, because who are we to go and say that this creator isn't going to go and further damage Lord Raijin if he continues to go and attack him like this, Gira questions. For we mustn't just go on to watch this go down, especially if Lord Raijin is to go and meet us down there. As Jogo went on to then quickly respond, that Guardian is going and taking this way too far, and we must not go and allow for him to go and continue to attack Lord Raijin like this, for we are to hurry in. But then, it was only just upon with Toro being shown having to stop Jogo in his place was when Toro then went on to quickly respond, you will not, Jogo, for it was as I had just said, for we will go and wait here and not stand in Lord Raijin's way of handling his business unless we are to go and be called forth into combat by his very own command. Because while it may seem as though Zalama has Lord Raijin's number by blasting it with such attacks, Toro continues, I will need for the four of you to go and look a little closer, for Lord Raijin is in full control despite him having him seem defenseless out there against Zalama, to which as Zalama was then shown ceasing his fire was when Zalama then went on to respond, there we are, for that should have been enough to at least go and slow him down, but even though I know that this was certainly not enough to go and put this beast down, I must go on and hurry and try to go and find my way out of here before it's too late, Zalama says, as I cannot possibly go and leave this up to chance since I am at a complete disadvantage while remaining in this realm, and so I have to hurry. And but then, it was only within that very moment, seconds after behind the smoke, as Raijin went on to address Zalama before Zalama even had the chance to finish his sentence, was when Raijin then went on to quickly respond, that was quite the bold attempt of you of trying to go and defy me the way you did by attacking me head on with such attacks. However, Raijin says, you were foolish to have even dared to go and try to do what you just did, and so now it's my turn to show you how it's truly done, Zalama. To which, terrifyingly enough, within that very moment, as dozens of death beams were then shown exiting through the smoke and having to penetrate and pierce through Zalama's body, was when Raijin then went on to continue, for you had been given more than enough warnings to know that I wasn't bluffing about what it was that I had said which was going to happen to you, Zalama. For how utterly pathetic of you to even go as far as to try, Zalama. Now tell me, did you really think that this would truly go any other way in your attempts of trying to go and defy me? For you should have known better than to go and do on what it was that you just did, as you were doomed from the very moment I brought you here, Raijin continues, as there wouldn't have been any other outcome that you could have went and hoped for that would have went and changed what was going to happen to you here, Raijin says. For you are an embarrassment, Zalama, but maybe now you can see on how completely hopeless you truly are here, Guardian, with Zalama responding, you will never truly win the day in getting what you want, because so as long as there are those who are willing to go and stand against you, then there will always be a glimmer of hope that will always go and shine through your darkness in allowing for them to prevail over you by the very end, with Raijin responding, enough of this, for I have heard all that I needed to hear out of that mouth mouth of yours, and especially since everything that was spewed out of it had nothing to do with what it was that I wanted to go and hear. And so now allow me to go and grace you with the consequences behind such disrespectful actions, Guardian. For let this go and serve as being a painful reminder that I had given you a choice, Zalama. Raijin went on to then lift Zalama up in the air by then responding. And then so now watch carefully as I will hereby now begin to show you, and as I had went and allowed for you to be given multiple chances to go and bend
So good to see you. How
the
you doing?
futility of your resistance by handing over the information behind the configuration cubes that you guard, and yet you still choose to struggle rather than choose to live. And since you chose to suffer rather than relinquish the information that I've been looking for, I am going to hereby go and punish you in ways in which not even your deepest, darkest nightmares can possibly introduce to you, Raijin continues. And while your Dragon Balls have given me everything that I've been longing for prior to having you steal them away from me, and I will hereby now enact upon you 2 severe punishments for daring to defy my law. So for starters, I will hereby enact upon you 2 severe punishments for daring to defy my law. And so now for starters, let us go and begin with your rebellion by seizing control of the Super Dragon Balls before we can go and finish by using them, as this, dear old Guardian, will ultimately become the punishment in resulting in your body being torn apart limb by limb, so that you may go and understand the consequences behind your refusal to go and obey the new chain of command within the multiverse. For there is no one who is coming for you, Zalama, as this was always going to be your fate, to be torn apart, humiliated, and erased from my utopia without a trace of you being left behind. And as such, Raijin continues, I will personally claim to your heart as a token of my victory, and as you were always useless to me, Zalama, for you were a servant playing God, and now you will be remembered as not a legend, and not as some great divine craftsman of your kind, but as a fool who dared to oppose the Most High, only to be annihilated like the animal that you are, Raijin says. And so now to honor your life, I will feast upon your heart with glee, as this is the price that you will have to pay for thinking that you could challenge me. And so now from this moment forward, not only will your name be forgotten, but your legacy will be erased, Zalama, as you were never meant to last beyond your purpose, and I am the force that will go on to rewrite history itself as the one true God King among the hierarchy of the divines, which as Raijin went on to then snap his fingers, it was only then within that very moment as Zalama's body went on to instantaneously erupt with a massive explosion was when Raijin then went on to continue, and as I will go on to reign supreme over all life as you come to watch over, as one way or another I will find and obtain those configuration cubes, with or without your existence, Guardian. To which it was only shortly after, with all 4 Dark Masters then shown having to rendezvous and having to address Raijin, was when Toro went on to then quickly respond, Venerable Lord Raijin, for we are here and at your service and ready to go and do thy bidding, O Great One. For although it would seem as though you have already figured out on who it was that had taken the Super Dragon Balls away from us and having it be Zalama, we hereby stand before you in honoring your name as we await for you to go and tell us on what is it you would want for us to go and do next, O Great Lord Raijin, with Raijin responding, alas, the so-called creator and the guardian of the Super Dragon Balls is no more. And with his legacy destroyed and with his memory erased, this was the price that he had to go and pay for daring to lie and defy me the way he did. And with the knowledge that we have gathered and with the secrets that we have extracted, Raijin continues, now that we have identified the last remaining strongholds of defiance across the multiverse, now will be the time where you will go on to wipe them all out from the face of existence, Lords, as I expect for no sanctuary to remain and let no resistance be what is left standing, Raijin says, and as I shall feast upon Zalama's heart, for it has been countless generations since I was last able to taste the blood of a divine heart such as this, but even now, my order is to stand unchallenged until it is complete, Raijin continues, as those who once thought themselves as champions of order and protectors of justice will soon be purged from the very face of existence, and I
I mean all of them. For those who cannot be persuaded or convinced into joining our ranks are to be gutted like animals and to be eliminated without a trace. As with all of the information that you have collected, which of these 12 universes is the one which houses the strongest and most defiant mortal warriors? Raijin questions. For I would like to go and know on which of these of the 12 is going to prove to be the most challenging. With Toro responding, well, while the data we have collected on all 12 universes gives us an accurate description on which of these universes will go and pose the greatest danger to our reign, the top 3 universes, according to our calculations, which happen to house the most rebellious warriors who will directly stand to oppose our laws, are going to be Universe 6, Universe 11, and at number 1, Universe 7. Toro continues. The force is now ready, and with our elite demons on standby and waiting for your order to move into their rightful places, what are you to go and do in the meantime while we are to purge the multiverse of its most troublesome warriors, Lord Raijin? Because now that you are very much well aware of Zalama's lies behind what he knows of the configuration cubes, along with its whereabouts, do you happen to go and plan on pursuing this endeavor in attempts to get down to the bottom of where this may be? Or will you somehow instead go and try to go after the Super Dragon Balls and retrieving them so that we may go and be able to continue with our plans, oh Great One? With Raijin responding, what I intend on doing first is to go and seize control of the first configuration cube from Mechikabura's control, as I will then move onwards in locating and collecting the final 2 cubes and therefore finally completing my mission, as the Super Dragon Balls will shortly follow suit once I am able to gather together all 3 of the configuration cubes, and then, only then, will the Super Dragon Balls be used to go and forge a new beginning for us here. But tell me, why is Universe 7 housed as the most troublesome universe to deal with among the 12 Raijin questions? For I don't happen to recall anything special about that universe that had struck me as alarming as when I was there, and so now tell me on what it is that you know, Toro. For I would like to know on why this happens to now be the case, with Toro responding, its mortal warriors appear to be far larger in number when compared to the rest of the other universes, and from what I have gathered, it would only appear as though the ones who are known as both Goku and Vegeta were one of the lead members in going as far as to help bring down the fallen angel Murno, and because Universe 7 appears to house several others who stand alongside with them, Toro continues, they remain at the top of our list as being the most troublesome of the bunch, which is why we are all ready to go and make our move for whenever you deem for the time to be right, Lord Raijin. With Raijin responding, so I see, but while Universe 7 may be a nuisance for the time being, they are still no threat to us, which is why you must ensure that they do not stand within my way, but heed my words, Dark Lords, that unless they are somehow able to go and force my hand in combat due to your own inability to go and destroy them, then I will be left with no other choice than to go and insert myself with extreme prejudice. Do you understand? And so while I am off to go and collect what is owed to me, you are all to go and purge the multiverse of the weak and await my orders once this is all done, Raijin continues. For I have no interest in ruling over a multiverse that still harbors defiance against me. And so because of this, you will go and cleanse it of its most troublesome warriors and ensure that by the time I go and collect the configuration cubes, there is no one left to oppose us, Raijin says. And since I already have a good enough idea on where that policeman holder of a so-called demon god Mechikabura is hiding, I will go on to target his sanctuary and pay him a little visit while I extract the first of the 3 cubes from him, as I will only from there move on to locating the second cube soon after, and then, only then, will I lay claim onto the third and final cube alongside with it, as I will have what I've been longing for. And if that wretched Zalama was last seen in having to stand alongside Universe 7's Angel Whis, then I presume that the final configuration cube must be within the domain of Universe 7, Raijin says. But that is for the 4 of you to go and find out while I am gathering the first 2, and so now do not waste a single moment in doing what must be done, so that I may go on to see on what lies beyond on the other side, Dark Lords. For the gates of the great beyond shall be opened, and once they are, I will seize the power that comes comes alongside with it and lay claim over whatever lies beyond those borders, and I don't expect to go on and fail in having to do so, especially now that my plan is almost near its completion. And so now you will go and do as I say, and you will endure of it accordingly. As Toro went on to address the other Dark Masters by them responding, understood, and so then we will go and move out now while we spread ourselves out and do what must be done in the name of upholding Lord Raijin's honor and title across the multiverse, beginning with Universe 7, as we will go and head out now and deploy our strongest across the cosmos while we wait on Lord Raijin to go and retrieve the configuration cubes. For we will go on to spread ourselves out and do what must be done while Lord Raijin is to do what must be done in order to continue his reign and wielding complete might over the multiverse. And so now let's go, with Raijin responding, good, very good, and with my plans having to now fall in line with what it was that I had envisioned, it'll only be a matter of time before all 3 cubes are mine for the taking, just as it was when I had sworn to conquer the multiverse before acquiring Murno's power. As soon, very soon, I will have what I have been longing for, and you, Mechikabura, are going to be the first among those who possess the cubes to give it to me. For I also happen to know that you don't know of its true nature like how I know of, and so for the time being, and I am glad that you were its placement holder, because soon that cube will belong to me, demon. And since Zalama had refused in handing over what I've been longing for and ultimately had to give his life, if you also happen to go on to do the same by refusing to hand over what I seek from you, Mechikabura, then whether we are both demons by nature or not, I will come for you and shred you into an oblivion, just like I had shredded Zalama. As it was only right then and there now, during that moment, where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super Story of the Dark Masters, the official Murno sequel, manga chapter number 28 special, then comes to a close.
Well, actually, I'll go ahead and take it from here, as I do want to go as far as to address something very important with our dear viewers at the moment. As before I go and give you the following information, if you aren't already a member of Unreal's Patreon community, then you are truly missing out on so much without you even knowing, because not only is the next episode already on the page, but if you want to support all of the manga content that you see and gain access to tons of exclusives along the way that range from a variety of different things, then we do encourage for you all to become members of our Patreon community today, for we will link everything down within the description box below and pinned comment section as well. Now I will go as far as to say that this was certainly not something that I had anticipated would go and happen, especially now with Raijin being at the absolute height of his power as it is, and with time continuing to dwindle while we scatter and trying to figure out on what our next move is going to be against such a ruthless and powerful adversary in the demon god Raijin. You do not want to go and miss out on what is about to happen coming up next. So we hope that you all enjoyed today's video, and before you leave, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up by smashing that like button on your way out, as well as also subscribing to Unreal and Gaming's channel for tons of new Dragon Ball content. So with that, we thank you all so much for watching, as we'll be seeing you all again for the next one.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to Unreal and Gaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.
Y'all already know to go check in with your boy. catch up on them other videos, unless you want to catch up with them with me, because you know to hit a playlist on my channel is Super Saturday playlist. You know that's where all the previous Dragon Ball content's been. So, and other than that, you know we got other stuff that we do too. Is an entertainment review show. You know we got the W solo leveling reviews we've been doing here lately because W's promoting it, and you know we got our W affiliates program going. Shout out to that W link because I'll drop it in the chat for the replay gang. I know y'all ready to go get y'all something new to drink. Lord knows I need me something else. So I'm out of Mountain Dew right now, but I'll hurry up here in a minute. You know, I got a list of things to do after I get done with my lives this morning. But hell, we almost done with the videos, so let's get right back in them. Oh, exit full screen. Hit the back arrow. Put it back in the playlist. And skip to this. And I had to fix that. Boom, there we go. Back in the mix. Shout out to that big homie. Y'all know to go check out my guy at DJ Is. Shout out to my other DJ. You know, we got a couple in-house DJs. I've been putting in these beats too, man. Shout out to that big homie. Hell, pretty sure that this channel got more than mine do. Yeah. Shout out to Arizona Treasure Hunters. They got a video. Go check that out. Y'all know to also go check out the big homie Rich New Design. Y'all know Rich put in some work for us in the past. We appreciate that.
I released a video recently where I made the assertion that not a single one of you could beat any Dragon Ball fighter. And the hilarious part is, the comments were flooded with people who thought that I was wrong and that they had valid answers. You're all wrong, so let's go through them. You think you can beat Chaozu in a fight? Sorry, my guy, but he can fly, psychically control your entire body, and shoot deadly Dodonpa beams that would have one-shotted Goku an arc prior. So yeah, try again. You think you can beat Ranfan or Bacterian from the World Tournament? Well, at least you're getting a bit more creative now, but still, unfortunately, both of them, despite their gimmicks, were still highly capable fighters that made their way through the preliminary rounds of the most illustrious martial arts tournament in the world. Unless you are a legit high-level professional fighter, which I highly doubt you are, you ain't taking either of these guys. Videl, not even close. Chi-Chi, she is absolutely wiping the floor with you. Oolong? Well, okay, he's not really a fighter to begin with, is he? But honestly, he might just turn into a rocket and fly out of your reach, so even if you do cheat, you're still not beating a Dragon Ball fighter. Sorry.
Let's try and take over my show. I just gave him a shout out. Shout out to him and Allie doing their THING. hit the pause, but we're gonna hit the like button. You dig? We're gonna finish the Rumble video, and we'll see y'all next Super Saturday.